Everyone, it's Rich. I'd just like to let you all know that I'm trapped. So basically, I've been banned from going to police. I can't complain to police. I've been banned from going as any whistleblower at ASIC, at APRA, at IBAC, and the Commonwealth Ombudsman. And I live with a brain injury on the DSP, and I've lived in abject poverty for nearly a whole year since my was a successful suicide in Wary Mercy Hospital, which was really just more of the same oppression that I've got since then. So as a result of that, so I was found unconscious, immovable, with no blood and no observable pulse. Now I live with kind of a bit of a brain fuck. And my lips dropped and stuff. And I live on a pension which is about $400 a week, and my rent is about $370 a week. So anyone can see that this is clearly not sustainable. I don't know how I've done it for a year. I have got by with help from friends. However, I've now got banned because I've been persecuted as a victim of a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice, which has framed me, and that's why I have no voice and no rights, and hence no prosperity, because AFCA actually owe me $1 to $2 million. That's been going on for over 2 years, but they knew I was becoming a vagrant after I left work for a complex issue, and they watched as I became unwell, and my family incarcerated me. Now, my former partner of 5 years still owes me a separation. No one saw that injustice. No one sees justice. What people see when they see me is a crazy person and someone to pin their own neuroses or prejudices on that are implied and they can't see, consciously or unconsciously on me, as kind of the scapegoat archetype. So, look, another issue is Australian Human Rights Commission owed me a conciliation with a company for discriminating against me, and they free kicked $1 million case to the opposition. It was highly inequitable, it was illegal, and blah, blah, blah. So another one's Comcare with my work cover claim, so they've cooked that. Another one is AFCA, Comcare, the AAT. They're pushing ahead, even though I'm a marginalised person, and the government having already killed me and then covered it up with a ombudsman who condoned that killing within illegal contraband in a hospital where I went not to die, but died. And then it was covered up. The CEO, I offered an atonement for the CEO that was just a token gesture offering him to settle. And he and everyone is well aware that I cannot go to police, that I cannot go to any agency like the Mental Health Complaints Commissioner or the Health Complaints Commissioner, that the Office of the Australian Information Commissioner deletes my files, and that, Centrelink, after finding out about my suicide, put me on the dole while I was still on sick leave. Yeah. So, I left work because I was cooked in 2 VOCAT cases, and I was working very hard as an allied health professional, as a therapeutic support worker. And my client, who I worked with for nearly 2 years, he had heinous child sex, rape and incest issues. I won't name him, of course, but I was doing his VOCAT case, a verbal narrative, because you couldn't express it all at once. I was going through my own child sexual abuse case at the same time. This was mildly triggering, not the reason I left work. The reason I left work was my VOCAT case. The magistrate said, you were doomed to fail from the start, and kicked it out. The lawyer gave me no response, and I complained to the legal bar, but lo and behold, I'm banned from the legal bar. That's right, you heard it. No police, no legal bar, nowhere to complain, nowhere to have your voice. So The other thing is I was violently beaten up in Footscray, and despite there being clear evidence of a video, it was pinned on me. So I've been the scapegoat for quite some time, and the pin-up guy for blaming. Apparently, because I'm an extortionist, I made a complaint about a GP years ago in which he acted with malpractice and negligence, and it led to an overdose. It was very sad. I haven't got anything against the doctor. I just wanted some kind of acknowledgement that that thing had occurred. For years, I was set up to fail. I complained one place, went to the next place. So all the statutory authorities and the next place and the next place all failed me one after the other. It sent me a bit, the gaslighting and the systemic narcissism really makes you feel unheard, So that was that. So I've been fighting what seems like to be a million years, and I've had an uphill battle my whole life, having written a tell-all sex, drugs and rock and roll autobiography, with my inherent, real life gritty stories. Nothing illegal. I'm a free man. I haven't done anything wrong, but I know I've been framed for a lot of things. Now, at the present time, I've been hospitalised twice, and there's really been no excellent reason for that, because this is a crime of politics and poverty and the battle for prosperity and robbing that prosperity. So since I left hospital in 2021 in March, I've lived in abject poverty, and I haven't had one person stand up for any of my justice issues and or get any result. I'm utterly and absolutely categorically framed. And further to that, I haven't seen a psychologist in that whole time. Now, it's very interesting that someone who was so systemically oppressed, and who was mildly famous for his public advocacy work of 25 years, but then is now infamous across all Australian politics. So, no psychologist. I've barely got healthcare. I've got no medication, no money. I go without food. Crystal, poor thing, she wants her chicken dinner. She gets oats. I'm in a dire situation. So I made this whistleblower website for failing to be a whistleblower anyway, because there is only one road from here. The CAT team come every day, and they try and hospitalise me, and they're trying to drive me that insane that they incarcerate me, and I've already been threatened. The last time I went in there, luckily I recorded it, there's evidence on the website, that I will be made a ward of the state and lose my freedoms and be incarcerated for the rest of my life. Now, further to that, the NDIA and S, who I am both a client and a participant of, for the last 3 or 4 months have just refused to pay all of my invoices. So I brought it up with the Minister, Reynolds, and I demanded, like, I have no money, no food. It's the responsibility of a government to look after its citizens, especially one that's worked so hard for others. And I have sentience, I really demand that this be acknowledged immediately. Like, there's no reason why these invoices shouldn't be paid. And she wrote an innocuous note back, which was just ridiculous. And further to that, I've also got one from Greg Hunt. I've got one from the Attorney General, who I brought up the AAT case, the AFCA case, the Comcare case, the APRA case, where I'm a failed whistleblower, the APRA case, where I'm a failed whistleblower, and everything under her portfolio. Now, like the rest of society, they don't see a justice issue. They see someone easy to exploit and easy to scapegoat. Gay, former drug user, and apparently mad. So I'm utterly and absolutely aware of the scapegoat archetype, and I absolutely know what's happening with everyone. The scapegoats are like an infertile female baboon that's cast to the edge of the group to die in the bushes, feeding on the scraps from the other ones. But you know what? They have a unique perspective on the world, and we need those people, and we need me. And I deserve a life, and I deserve my litigation tended to, and I deserve to have a life free from government oppression and tyranny, the ability to earn and have a business. Because about 5 months after I came out of the hospital, my internet company, Micron21, thanks James, intentionally went out of the way, destroyed all of my evidence, all of my emails of 20 years, pictures of loved ones, everything, my digital identity, my intellectual property right, and my website, and utterly desecrated it. There is no other way than saying the movement exists and existed before my death to aid and abet my death by delaying, deferring, and denying. And that happened for so long, and then my justice wasn't acknowledged, and I was scapegoated and targeted as the mad one when my justice hadn't been looked at. And post-death, I say post-death like it happened, but I believe it was a conspiracy to murder. And in actual fact, proving via what's happened to me after that hospitalisation and very near suicide, in which I would have died if I wasn't accidentally found and revived. It's been a heinous year. I ask you all to go to killim.info that I've made as a whistleblower statement website. I deserve some prosperity. It's not fair on my parents who don't understand the depth and breadth of the implicit abuse and systemic neglect and ostracization, which is like a microcosm in the family module as well. But you know, I love them, but hang on, it's just gone flat. Wait on. Oh, there you go. Is it still going? Yeah. So I just hope you go to killing.info and just realise that I'm in a real crisis situation. There is no way out from here apart from being incarcerated forever, and or like I already am, a squatting vagrant with a brain injury and apparently a mental illness, and also a Doctor of Philosophy and Human Rights awarded, publicly celebrated person, but now libel and slander and desecrated, absolutely framed, hung out to dry and tarnished, desecrated. I'm tired, but I'm not suicidal, and please know that I still have good times and hang with Crystal and stuff. I just need a break, and I need some people to invest in my justice issues so that I will get an acknowledgement from the finance minister as a CDDC scheme, which is a scheme that repays compensation for people who have been left in deficit for the ill choices of statutory organisations. So I've got that going with the government at the moment, but I need a link, a lifeline, beyond my parents sending me wheat bix, the poor things, to get me from A to B. So please have a look at killing.info. I'll leave it up there, and that's my whistleblower website. I've also got a letter from the Attorney General, Mclean, and she refuses to acknowledge the injustices of all the statutory authorities underneath her, and like society and people close and whatever, she has sent me to the sane helpline. Dan Andrews did the same thing. I wrote to him and clearly stated the illegal injustice issues, but he sent me to the very hospital where I died, and who'd officially, after 10 months, who I saw a psychiatrist only twice as a high-risk client, they officially gave me the heave-ho. So I'm not going to give myself the heave-ho. I'm just going to hang in here, eat mung beans and up and goes, and I'm hopefully going to accept some kindness from people. I appreciate the kind people that have helped me thus far, and I hope to get back to serving the community when I can bridge my way past the CAT team coming to incarcerate me forever. And I want to say in the whole just about year since my hospitalisation, or the nearly 5 years I've been involved with that organisation, the only literal thing of value they've given me is a $40 Coles voucher. Anyway, look, I'm a multi-millionaire in theory. The people that help me now are the people that... I don't need a lot of money, you know. Are the people who are going to sing the praises and amplify their wealth and the charities that they support, because that's where my heart is. And I hope you can help me and indulge me in having a look at killing.info. And if you can help, please do. Okay, cheers. Dr. Rich, signing off. See ya.